Okay, y'all, last section of this unit needing to cover sexually transmitted infections, specifically HIV and AIDS is where your textbook likes to hone in on. But I always want to make sure that we understand that STIs or STDs, maybe be the acronym that you've heard, can be transmitted from unprotected sex that you're having. Again, sex being in the form of penis to vagina penetration, oral penetration, or anal penetration of any kind of sex that you are having. These infections and diseases can be transmitted. So again, we don't use vague terminology. We're just going to lay it out there straight. If you are having any form of sex, you can be at risk for STIs or STDs if you're not using a barrier form of protection like a condom or a femidom, okay? So just kind of to note, if you think you're at risk of one of these, I always like to cover this in this chapter. We have a school nurse that you can reach out to. Everything is confidential because it has to be, because you are a minor, and it is nothing that you need to be afraid to ask for help with. And then, of course, if we need to seek further help from the local health department, there are ways to get help and get information and be seen about if there's something going on with you that you think you might be at risk for one of these or have something. It's nothing to hide and let get too far, okay? Because I care about you and I love you. I'm going to tell you these things. I'm always here. You have nurses that are here, or our school nurse that's now here. Just jumping right into it, because we do have to just cover our bases. So unprotected sexual intercourse can lead to the transfer of these pathogens because of the body fluids that you're exchanging. And the one that your textbook hones in on is HIV, which is the human immunodeficiency virus. And it's also referred to as AIDS, the acquired immunodeficiency disease. Okay, so it can be spread sharing needles with an infected person, blood transfusion, infected blood from a mother to a fetus, through that placenta. That's one that can transfer. Even through breastfeeding, it can transfer, but it can also transfer sexually. Now, how HIV affects the immune system. Immediately after infection, people typically feel like they have mild flu-like symptoms. They may pass for a period, and the person may just not even know they're infected. They might think they just have a cold or they've caught something. Then virus, it infects a certain type of lymphocyte in our body's immune system. Now, normally lymphocytes seek out and destroy pathogens that enter the body because they produce antibodies that attach to those pathogens, or they engulf the pathogens. But with HIV, it avoids being recognized and destroyed by lymphocytes because it repeatedly changes its protein coat. It then infects a certain type of lymphocyte that uses our cells' machinery to multiply rapidly. So this reduces our number of lymphocytes in our immune system and also the number of antibodies that our immune system can make. So once it attacks our immune system, cuts out the number of lymphocytes that we have, decreases the number of antibodies that we have, it really decreases our body's ability to fight off any type of infection. So that's where HIV turns into AIDS, okay? This is just an image depiction of what's going on with the virus. You can pause here and read through that, of how it affects the lymphocytes. And then we just want to talk about controlling the spread of sexually transmitted infections. Now, best way to control the spread of STIs and STDs, limit the number of sexual partners that you have. Do not have unprotected sex, making sure that you are always using a condom or always using some form of barrier protection. Getting tested if you have had unprotected sex with multiple partners. And then, of course, raising awareness by just educating you through programs. You need to understand, if you have had unprotected sex with multiple people, you are at a greatly increased risk for sexually transmitted infections and diseases. It is nothing to play with. It's nothing to joke about. It is just facts and reality. So please, please, please Take care of yourself. Take care of the people that you are potentially going to enter into any type of relationship with. Limit the number of your sexual partners. Do not have unprotected sex. And then if you have done any of these things, don't be ashamed. Get tested. No, just no. Like no. If you have one of these or if you're at risk of one of these. Okay. All right. That is it for this whole unit. It's been fun. And we're going to move on. All right. Notes, CFU, Ed Puzzle, and then any activities for the day. Good job, guys. Y'all did awesome.